Hello everyone and welcome to the Vysočina Arena here in Nové Město, Moravě, one of the spiritual homes of mountain bike cross-country racing. And what a race we have got for you this evening. The cross-country Olympic distance race for the under-23 men, the third round of this year's UCI World Cup. Can anyone stop Riley Amos? My name is Rick McLaughlin. Joining me in the booth for this one is the original Olympic gold medalist, Bart Brenchins. Bart, when you're on a roll like Riley, it's hard to imagine anyone stopping him, isn't it?
I mean, he's in great shape. He showed it in the short track already, and having the leader's jersey. But of course, on a course like this, with such a big field and so many strong riders, it's also hard for him to do that again, to win the race again.
Huge field, and here is the sharp end of it. The front row just forming up now. Finn Trudler for Cube Factory Racing, the European Continental Champion. Following him on to the grid, Fritz Beesterbos.
Fritz Beesterbos.
Okay, you can have that one.
Dutch name.
I'll let you handle that for the rest of it then, Bart. Next up, Bjorn Riley, Trek Future Racing. One of the standout stars of this season so far. Real emerging talent. Joe Blackmore. It's the start line.
European champion short track.
Huge talent, Blackmore. A lot of people talk about him for some time now. All action. Luca Martin. Orbea Factory Teams. Resident fast Frenchman. Seldom fails to light a race up. Expecting big things from him today. Luke Wiedmann. It's already been a successful afternoon for the Thomas Maxson Swiss mountain bike racing squad. Can he make it extra special? Oh no, that went badly.
A little crash.
A crash already, they haven't even left. Dario Lillo from the Giant Factory off-road team. Swiss national champion, and as we always say, probably the hardest national jersey to win in cross-country mountain biking. But here's the man they are all gonna have to find an answer for. Riley Amos, Trek Factory Racing Pirelli, won the short track yesterday, just as he has won everything else this season. And amidst a packed field of standout talent, he stands the tallest. Amos, Lillo, Wiedmann, Martin, Blackmore, Riley, Beesterbos, Trudler, Luke Moyer in there, Solvoy won here last season. The Danes in there, as is Malacarney on the podium, and Harris Schaap, Tobias Lilliland's in there. Cornelio, Ethan Rose, Gros Lambert, Gustav Heavy Pedersen, Paul Schell.
Yeah, Paul Schell, he had that crash yesterday. Tom Schellekens from the Netherlands with the number 27. Have a look at him too today.
Schellekens, yep, was going to have some traffic to compete with early doors, but well able of navigating it. Huge field here in Nové Město na Moravě. Nearly 160 riders on that starting grid as we get ready for the lights to turn red and then green, and then we will be racing. Big long start-finish straight here in Nové Město na Moravě. As always, who's going to be in front by the end of it as they head onto the start loop? The red lights go on. Luke Wiedmann puffs the cheeks. And it's go in Nové Město na Moravě. Bjorn Riley quick to react off the line, as is Luca Martin, but it's Beesterbos who's alongside him. Riley in third wheel as they take off down the start-finish straight.
Luca Martin, he's leading.
Look at that.
Riley Amos, 160 riders. That's a lot on this course.
Chaos into this start loop.
Yeah, dangerous. In the back of this field.
Everybody wanting to be at the front.
Strong start for Alexander Hudima with the number 12, his nickname Sasha.
Joe Blackmore just being swallowed up slightly in the British jersey. Riley Amos on the right-hand side in the overall points leaders jersey. Alex Malakarny on the left-hand side in the checker jersey, the Brazilian.
With the number 4, Alex Malakarny. And a crash here in the back of that group. And here we see already a little bit of carnage here on the first climb.
Yeah, looked like problems already for Raphael Potier off the bike.
But Luca Martin is showing his strength. Fast start always.
Dario Lilo up at the front as well. He had a good short track yesterday, Bart. Are we going to see Lilo return to a bit of form here at the start of the season? Rights this place, goes well.
Yeah, in a certain part last year he was definitely one of the strongest under-23 riders. A little bit more struggles this year to find his form, but yesterday he showed his strength. Second place. And now in front of the group.
Dario Lilo has done a lot of work with McKay Vizina, Giant Factory Racing's new technical skills coach, but there's a front flats.
Yeah, these things happened in the beginning of the race. It's possible.
Yeah, for Angelo Zancampardo.
And then it's difficult for these riders to reach the tech zone where they can change the wheel. It's Luca Martin who's still leading, Alex Malakarny, Dario Lilo, and now we have Riley Amos behind him on the 4th place, the leader.
Let's have a look at the start then. So many riders, but a fall right in the middle of the pack.
Straight.
I mean, there's no soft place to land around here, but the asphalt, last place you want to go down.
White handlebars, and that makes it more difficult for these riders fighting for the position. And luckily, no one else crashed over there.
There is Amos now at the front in the red and white jersey and the white helmet of the overall points leader. Malakarny is with him, as is Luca Martin, as is Dario Lilo. Lilo's second here last time in Nové Město last season.
Yeah, the start looked a bit different from the original lap. But if the riders reaching a little bit further on, and that's actually where they are already right now, even that this climb is part of the original course. It's still wide open here, but it's a little bit further.
Luc Wiedmann on the right-hand side of your picture in the red and white of Thomas Max and Swiss Racing. Bart, Ollie and I talked about during the under-23 women's race. You know, the 14th time we've been here in Nové Město na Moravě, and it's testament to how good a track this is. If you think of some other tracks from 14 years ago and how far the sport's come, this place still stacks up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it always brings the best out of the riders. Tight racing, not that big gaps in between the riders. In the under-23 women, we saw something else. Isabella Holmgren, she was very strong. Big lead she had, but normally we see tight racing and many times also sprint finishes.
Yeah, lots of sprint finishes throughout the history of Nové Město na Moravě.
Yannis Musi now from France in front of this group.
Tobias Lillelund just very slightly in the pack for Trek Future Racing.
Yeah, and he might be one of the riders also to gain points for Denmark, for the Olympic ranking. He's the 3rd rider.
Yeah, the pressure on the Danes this weekend. Oliver Solvoy won this race last season, so can he put on a display this afternoon? But Amos through those drops cleanly.
Yeah, most of the course it's dry. We had a lot of rain yesterday. It was very muddy in the morning. Slippery. It took a little bit of time to dry up again, but looks like now these routes are dry at the moment.
So important to navigate this start loop cleanly, not get caught up in anybody else's dramas. But Riley Amos,
and this part over here, 2 different lines, very difficult to make it on your bike. Very steep, and a lot of routes everywhere.
Yeah, this little punch now that Amos is about to take on, really, really technical, really, really difficult to get up behind him. Martin's still in there in the green jersey for Orbea. Bjorn Riley in the teal colour, Trek Future Racing's in there as well.
But Riley Amos is strong here on this climb, reaching the top.
Riley Amos may just have watched that performance from Isabella Holmgren and go, do you know what? that might work. Let's go.
I wouldn't say teammates. Isabella Holmgren riding for Lidl Track, but
they're in the
Riley
same.
Amos,
they're in the same ecosystem, aren't
Track
they?
Factory racing team.
Well, through this really, really tricky stump field.
Riders followed by the drone.
Already, such is the pace at the front of this one. They are starting to string out. Yannis Musi in second place then, behind Amos. Then it's Lilo, Martin, Riley. 8 seconds covering the top 5.
Yeah, the riders still very close together. Riley Amos a little bit ahead of this group. But let's see if they're entering the arena on the asphalt.
Here he comes, Amos.
Over these rocks, the rock and roll, how they call it.
Grandstand filling up. That last one is loose, so caution needed. Solvoy currently in 6th, then Malacarne in 7th.
I would say an early attack of Riley Amos in this race so far.
It looks like it's working too.
Yeah. Coming back to the start-finish area.
Won that race in Andorra last season. Pal Aaron Sal hasn't really looked back since then, and this season he's won every UCI World Cup there's been in both short track and cross-country Olympic. And as they head on to the end of the start loop, it looks like Riley Amos fancies attacking right from the get-go here.
Yeah, there's some work to do for that chasing group to close that gap.
Yannis Musi in there with Lilo Martin, Bjorn Riley. Bart, given how deep the traffic was off the line, look how strung out this race already is from this attack from Bjorn Riley.
Yeah, he's pushing the hammer down and everyone has to follow him, so it's going to be fast. And it put the pressure also on that chasing group, what I said, with Yannis Musi here, and Lilo in that group, Alex Malacarne, a lot of strong riders.
I don't think he's putting the hammer down so much as throwing hammers backwards at the rest of these riders, because Riley Amos, Trek Factory Racing Pirelli, is really taking everyone to task here through the double jumps, out onto the lap properly, and we get a good look at one of the most famous tracks in cross-country racing.
Amos feeling strong, but there's still a long way to go. And that lead helps a little bit if you are chasing and working well together, but that's the main question, if they do it.
Yeah, we kind of saw that in the under-23 women's races, that no one was really able to organise the group and sort of make a cohesive effort to pull Isabella Holmgren in, but can they start working together now and trying to solve a problem like Riley?
It's Dario Lilo now with the number 10 on his bike, the Swiss champion who's leading that chasing group.
There's Luc Witteman on the left-hand side on the number 5 bike. 5 seconds now the gap.
Luca Martin now coming to the front with the number 6 on his bike in the green jersey.
Luca Martin might just be the rider to take this on, you know, extremely aggressive, loves the chase.
And then more riders coming back together. A big group now. Lennart Krajer, the German champion.
3 seconds of distance now between Riley Amos and Luca Martin, so they have ridden back onto the back of Amos.
Luca Martin, he's a strong guy. He was leading actually the European champs before he had a flat tire. A shame for him. It happened before in Valdishol. It was when he flatted front and rear on the same time.
If it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Luca Martin is with Riley Amos now. You do get the feeling it is going to click for Luca Martin at some stage. He is going to start winning them.
It will, yeah. It definitely will. Yeah, these guys are a bit wild on the bike, I would say. Sometimes hard to control.
This little punch, though, Bart, so difficult. This little part of the climb.
Yeah, especially riders, they reach the...
Riley Amos is off.
Yeah, they reach the highest heart rate you can have as a rider. And then still you have to make it on your bike. It's slippery, it's very bumpy, not that much grip, traction.
So we saw Riley Amos off the bike and running there. He's got back on and recovered into second place, but that might just be the opening that Luca Martin needs to start building a lead, just as Bart mentioned, like he did in Val di Sole Trentino last season.
Luc Wittmann on the third place. Lucian is missing, the French guy.
Solvoy's in there in 7th place, you know, as well. A real danger man.
For the first time on the main rock garden here in Nové Město na Moravě.
So brutal through there. Any one of those rocks capable of ending a rim.
But these riders, they're flying over these rocks.
You know it's a dangerous section when you see that many cameramen gathered at the side of it.
And here we see that again, the little mistake of Riley Amos.
It wasn't much, but it was enough to get Luca Martin off and running.
Riley Amos now second behind Luca Martin. Coming to that big climb in the middle of the course.
This is really one of cross-country racing's famous climbs, and it's the first time we're going to see it in this under-23 cross-country Olympic men's race. Up on the Whoop climb for the first time, and Bart, there is no right line up here, is there?
No, it's such a hard climb there, woods everywhere. It looks like even that it's getting more and more difficult to ride it every year again.
And you
probably
can't
also the soil is washed out or washed away, which makes it more difficult to find your grip.
And you can't get out of the saddle, because when you get out of the saddle, it unweights the rear wheel, it spins up, and then you end up going backwards. But yeah. Riley Amos making a good fist of this behind Luca Martin, Luc Wiedemann, 3rd place now.
And also riders, they can see each other for such a long time in front of them. Sometimes it helps, it motivates to get back to the rider in front of you, but also sometimes it's very hard if riders are stronger and right away.
Sometimes you can ride into the rider in front's mistake as well if you're following too closely, and really, really difficult climb. We get to see it 6 times today.
So actually even from here on where the riders are right now, it keeps on going, that climb. Not that steep anymore, but still it's a good part of the course to place an attack as well later in the race. Sasha Udima here.
Looking good. Luca Martin cracking on at the front now, though.
Riley Amos close to him. Luc Wittmann. He finished 3rd yesterday in the short track.
It's Oliver Solvoy. Just through your shot now.
Back in a better shape.
Yeah, he was superb here last year.
He won it last year, and then he was struggling in that second part of the season last year, but looks like now he's coming more and closer to the leading riders.
Yeah, on the number 26 bike with the green sleeve, Solvoy with that really distinctive sort of straight arm style. Works for him. The big Dean.
Goes fast here on this course.
And we see Luca Martin down through the rock section. You see the full sauce bike working perfectly.
It's hard to believe how fast they go here on this rock garden. But if you stay next to it, it's incredible.
But I've ridden this rock garden, and it does work like that. The faster you go, you kind of skim over the top of it.
Yes, probably.
Just the consequences go up a little bit higher.
That's what I think too.
There's Riley Amos, so right with Luca Martin as they head into the second tech zone. So no feed or bottle through here, just technical assistance should a rider need it. It's where we saw Evie Richards get that puncture last time.
And Bjorn Riley also good race, 4th place now for him.
So Luca Martin looking like
yes, Bjorn Riley.
He is going to take this race to Riley Amos, and whoever else wants to go with him. These front 4 begin to form a pack now. Wiedemann and Riley in 4th.
Yeah, Luca Martin always working hard, pushing a lot of power into these races. And now again, Riley Amos coming to the front on this climb before they're going down again.
And that's this place in a nutshell, isn't it? You go up, then you go straight down, then you go up, then you go straight down.
And the descents are so quick, there's no time to relax, no time to recover.
The corner that caught Tom Pidcock out last year, famously, as they head now down through the drops. Amos has got back to the front, so We saw it on the last lap, and we're seeing it on this one. Riley Amos really, really strong through that section, through that descent.
And this climb probably the most difficult. That middle climb, actually, that big climb, it's hard, but that last one is very difficult to make it on your bike.
And there we see the move for the lead. Riley Amos just rolling through.
And here you can see it, Riley Amos off the bike, he's running. He lost his momentum, and then it's really hard to get back on it.
Yep, they're hunting him down, but Amos manages to maintain the lead ahead of Luca Martin, just bobbles and off again, Riley Amos, so maybe struggling to find a bit of rhythm, Bart.
Yeah, even, I mean, the course is changing constantly, actually, also because of the riders who are riding on it with the rain. And sometimes you're training on maybe the higher lane, and then the next round, probably then the lower line is faster again, or there's more traction. So, yeah, you have to be very flexible during your race too.
Luca Martin just getting a bit of advice from the technical staff of the Orbea team there.
To keep him in control.
Looked like they were trying to calm him down a bit. Looked like they were trying to say, it's okay.
It's okay if you are in the leading group, stay calm and wait a little bit.
Resist your natural urges here, Luca.
There's still time.
But these four are starting to build a gap. So Lilo is 5 seconds off the lead in 5th.
It's becoming a group of 5, Dario Lilo. He came back to that leading group. We
mentioned Oliver Solvoy. Lilo looks like a different rider all of a sudden here as well after that strong result in the short track. As I was saying, he's worked a lot with McKay Vizina, former Enduro Pro, one of the best ascenders in the game, and two of them seem to be clicking well, and it's beginning to show. The Swiss national champion had a great start to last year, then kind of tapered off. We didn't see the best of him as the year went on. But back in amongst the sharp end of things here, Dario Lilo, and he's back in the front group in the 5th place, the rider in the red jersey going for your shot now.
I'm wondering what the riders will do now when they're entering the arena again. If they're working together, pushing hard or slowing down a little bit. There's a little bit of wind, but not that much on the start-finish straight. Tailwind, actually, I have.
Well, if my experience of under-23 men's cross-country Olympics told me anything, it's that they're going to still be going full chat as they head up and over the bridge.
I like this finish more as it is right now, instead of the one we had last year. This is the original direction of the finish line here with Nové Město and Moravě.
Yeah, they change little tweaks in the track here and there. Each year, this group of 5 roll through them. There's the gap back to 6th place.
Yeah, Alex Malakana, Sasha Udima, and then Solvoy.
That's a strong group.
Yep.
It wouldn't surprise me if they all come back together again. Solvoy doesn't look in a rush.
Alex Malakani, he is. He's pushing hard to close that gap.
Had that podium in Araxá in Brazil, and the crowd basically carried him out of the venue.
Lennart Kreier, the German champion, Ranstein Superman in the green jersey, coming to the front.
You just saw Martin, Riley and Widman through the tech feed zone, or Lilo, I think it was through the tech feed zone. So
they're slowing down, definitely, these 5.
Everything is relative, but as they head to the double jumps.
They take their time to have a drink and take a gel.
Bjorn Riley in the blue of Trek Future Racing is high up, as we've seen him so far in the race, in the second wheel now. Did you see that social post of Bjorn Riley doing that gap jump?
It's crazy.
It's the biggest jump I've ever seen anyone doing a cross-country bike.
I was wondering if it's real or not, or it's...
I don't know. If you're setting one of these bikes down from that height...
it's real.
If you're setting one of these bikes down from that height, you better have a lot of faith in your landing gear.
I saw that, yeah, it's crazy. He's able to do everything on his bike.
Yeah, some bike handler, Bjorn Riley, in the blue on
Alex Malakana, who's closing the gap on his own with the number 4.
Another rider surfing a wave of confidence at the minute, Malacarney. Had a good time at his home rounds in Brazil. And the number 4 bike in your picture now. And
it's Alexander Hudima behind him, able to do that too with the number 12 on his bike.
Hudima looks like he's not going to wait for Solvoy on the 26.
And then a bigger chasing group behind Oliver Solvoy.
Meanwhile, at the front, it's Widman now. So they are moving this lead around, Bart.
Yeah. Luke Widman riding for the Thomas Maxson team. Ralph Neff racing it is.
Yep, Ralph Nave. Already a happy man after some results earlier on today.
Yep. It was good to see Keller winning the short track again.
Yeah, is Wiedmann going to make him even happier?
Out of the saddle for Luke Wiedmann here on this steep climb.
So Malacarney is in 6th and he's 6 seconds off the lead. Then it's 10 seconds back to Hudima. And the last time they went through a split, so let's see what it says this time round.
You could see Dario Lillo also struggling with the pace of Luke Wiedmann. He dropped off a little bit again.
He's a big, powerful rider, isn't he?
Dario Lillo here, the Swiss champion. Also off the bike, Bjorn Riley.
You can do it through here if you get off early enough. But as you can see, even in the drive, they're just so flat, those rocks.
Yeah,
There's no grip.
It's so slippery, and a little mistake will cost you immediately your momentum. And then it's really hard to continue to find your grip again.
Wiedmann puffs the cheeks. On top of that one, this little false flat at the top.
Bjorn Riley, Track Future Racing. Here with Dario Lillo, Alex Malacarne. And then we have Alexander Hudima. Here he is with the number 12.
Solvoy just moves the hands inside towards the stem a bit. Give his arms a break.
Here we have Rensteens Romane.
The arms taped up. What's happening there, Bart?
Kinesio tape. You had to release actually your muscles for better bloodstream. To save some extra energy for your arms. Sore arms from training, riding on the course.
Well, let's see if Rens, Teunissen, Van Manen can get back in touch with these front riders. So the top 10 covered by 27 seconds at the minute. Biesterbos is the last of them. Have I got that now?
Yeah, strong ride from Biesterbos.
I'm right, I've got it right, good.
Oh, we call him Fritz, it's easier.
Yeah, I just call him Fritz. Here they go on the bottom of the whoop climb then. Front four just breaking free once again, slightly.
And you see,
Riley,
yeah, how slippery the roots are. If they're in the wrong position, if you hit them wrong, no problems for Bjorn.
It still looks really greasy up there, Bart, at the minute. You get that here, don't you? It holds pockets of moisture around the track.
Yeah, and they carry on the moisturing on their tires as well to the next part, and then it gets wet again, and then the roots are actually more polished now, as there has been in the beginning of the week, because of all the riding and training what riders have done. So that makes the roots actually more slippery.
Riley Amos looking super strong up there. Retakes the lead of the bike race.
Alex Malacarne with the number 4 here, the Brazilian.
What a reaction from that Brazilian crowd for Alex Malacarne last time out in Arashal. Superb podium for him. Crowd went absolutely bonkers.
And if we have a look at the nation ranking for qualification Olympics, it's Denmark, the UK, Brazil. These three are very close together. And it's hard to say actually who has 2 spots. One of these three has 2 and the other 2 have only 1. And that's a fight for this weekend between these nations.
I was just looking at the 2 different facial expressions of Riley Amos and Luca Martin. Amos motionless, looking like he's hardly breathing heavily, and Luca Martin looking like he's trying to tear the handlebars off the bike. Here we go down through the rocks.
Yeah, you can see here how slippery the rocks are, even in the dry.
Yeah, rear wheel just trying to brake, find some kind of traction to slow down on.
From left to right, sliding everywhere.
The leader, Luke Wiedmann.
And also the suspension in the tires, in the front, the rear.
Staying off the brakes as much as he can. A lot of riders favouring that right to left line in there this year, Bart.
Yeah, they created actually a new line on it. That's what I thought compared to last year.
There used to be an all or nothing straight down the middle that was terrifying, but Amos now looks like he's attacking here. Fancy splitting this group slightly more. Riley Amos
out of the saddle. Look, Wiedmann.
Wiedmann is staying.
Third, yes. Look, I'm not close to Riley Amos.
Half-wheeling him, letting him know I'm right here.
Yeah, a bit irritating if you're riding that close next to someone.
Nobody on any bike ever likes to be half-wheeled as Riley Amos just moves across there and says, well, we have to get out of it now to get through that barrier.
Equal in strength at the moment, these two. Wittmann is coming back.
Martin looking like he's revving just a bit higher.
It's not an easy ride for these riders. Pushing hard all the time. A little bit of a gap in between Luke Wittmann, Bjorn Riley, and another bigger gap to the 5th place, Dario Lillo.
Top 10 covered by 29 seconds now. Joe Blackmore from the UK back in 20th, 1 minute, 1 second back on that. So it is beginning to stretch out. There is Alex Malacarne.
Yeah, coming back to Dario Lillo for the 5th place.
Yep, nothing between them, 4 seconds currently. Down through the drops, Martin has control once more.
Yeah, Bjorn Riley also not stressed at all. Fast here in the descent, closing the gap again.
He's got Riddler riding glasses as well, Riley.
No gloves, no glasses.
We've seen him do that a few times this year. Seems to just, I don't know whether he gets a bit of dirt on them and just finds it distracting. Tends to get rid of the glasses.
Over these routes.
Really awkward little climbs, this next pair.
Difficult. Different lines here as well. Look at Martin a little bit wider. And try to find his traction in between these routes.
Look at Martin looking super strong at the start of this one, Bart.
He's in a great shape. He showed that at Europeans where he was leading, had a flat tire, didn't win the race. And now leading with Riley Amos close to him.
This is a famous corner in Nové Město. You do that horrible climb and then you're straight into quite a fast technical descent.
Yeah, we have seen many battles and decided who was first on the highest point of that climb. It's a long descent actually from here on to the finish line, but still, I would say now a bit more opportunities to overtake riders. But it's so fast and you have a little bit of time to recover as well. And when it comes down to a sprint and you have entering that new bridge, probably from there on, yeah, I mean, still, it depends also if you have headwind, tailwind.
I'll tell you what, the rider in second place at the minute, Riley Amos, has got some lines through that section. Couple of big pulls of the bars for him, jumping across obstacles.
And the drone found his way.
Hits that inside line. Amos through here is really good, you know. And we've seen that a lot from him. Whenever
what happened with Bjorn Riley? Did he went down? I'm missing him.
Yeah, we are.
Third place. And his gap is way too big.
So drama.
Yeah, must be.
In Nové Město, Moravě.
There's Wittmann.
There's Wittmann. I wonder if Wittmann had problems and maybe caught Riley.
Yeah, maybe caught Bjorn Riley. He must be down or something. Something went wrong with him. Bjorn Riley now on 4th place.
Yeah, Riley in 4th now, so I wonder...
What went wrong? Something went wrong.
Well, they're going to come on the start-finish straight now, so we'll get an idea. Riley Amos kicks the back end out. Having fun with it. Plenty in the tank for Amos, yeah. Charlie Aldridge remains the only rider to jump the bridge in racing so far. Are we going to see it this afternoon?
It's a big one.
It's a big pull.
Yeah, it is.
Riley.
And you see these riders are surprised too. Riley Amos at least looking back over his shoulder.
So
Riley, yes, he's not that far off, but definitely way too much.
Let's have a look for signs of impact on either Wittmann or Riley. Can't see any there.
His shoulder on the right shoulder.
Right shoulder, so maybe Bjorn Riley has been down. That might bring Alex Malacarne back into play now. 17 seconds back off the lead.
Yeah, he overtook Dario Lillo. He sticks right now. And Steven Roman and Sacha Udima, the KMC Ridley riders together.
KMC Ridley riders together, just ahead. of Fritz Biesterbos.
Yes, another Dutch rider.
Walter.
Lennart Kreier, the German champion. Look, Wiedmann.
So Wiedmann, can he get himself back up the road and onto the back of the leaders of this race?
Riley Amos with the #1 on his bike, the leader.
So we are hearing that Luke Wiedmann did have a crash in the woods, so he's done well to get back on the back off the front of the race here.
Yeah, he lost a little bit of time. It's still riding. In the 4th place, there he is.
And one of the right-handers in that little nibbly woods section, Bjorn Riley, has recovered glasses from somewhere.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe tech feet zone.
Yeah.
We've got a new pair.
Maybe just swapping a lens somewhere. Going for a bit clearer field of vision.
But Luke Wiedmann is back to the leaders.
It's a great ride that from Wiedmann if he has been down to recover.
3rd in a short track yesterday.
But these two remain the strongest looking, Bart.
They definitely are. Yeah, Riley Amos already strong the whole season. Pushing hard here on this climb. Luke Wiedmann out of the saddle, that steepest part of this climb. Here with Bjorn Riley out of the saddle too. And now the most probably difficult part of this climb with all the rocks. That last little bit.
And with every lap, more and more dirt gets pulled onto
You see also the
him.
moisturing is on it and riders making mistakes. It's slippery again.
Martin and Wiedmann both off. And you saw a little look over the shoulder from Riley Amos. Doesn't need a second invitation.
Yeah, we saw that as well in Arasha when Finn Trullo went into the tech feed zone for a drink, and it was Riley Amos who attacked actually at the transit lane, the fast lane, and the gap was there and he won the race.
Riley Amos doesn't need a second invitation, and he has, let's see.
Yeah, this is the tech feed zone from before.
And let's see if he can build a gap now. He has managed to distance Luca Martin after Martin bobbled in that, the top of that little climb.
That's the difference after his little mistake on that climb.
There you go.
Mistakes from Luc Wiedmann and Luca Martin. And it costs a few seconds immediately.
That's what's done it. 8 seconds the gap now currently.
Goes fast, goes quick.
On lap 3 out of 6 for Riley Amos. Is that the invitation?
7 and 11 seconds for the numbers 2 and 3 in the race.
But you're going to have to go some to distance Luca Martin in the sort of form he's in today.
Yeah, 1 start lap plus 6 full laps.
As they lead onto the Whoop climb, and Riley Amos needs to be fast and clean up here if he wants to build this lead. He's looked good on it every lap so far. Martin.
Yeah, just a few seconds in between Riley Amos and Luca Martin. But it costs a lot of energy for Martin to close that gap again. And the same for Luc Wiedmann. Riders, they see each other riding.
Watch the bottom left of your screen here. We will see this crash. 3rd place.
It must be Bjorn Riley who went down.
There's Wiedmann just going down. And I reckon he's collected Riley, or Riley's been held up by him. So Wiedmann has been down, but looking like he's uninjured by it. There's Riley, now coming under the attentions of Alex Malacarney. Amos, 9 seconds the gap to Martin, so he's added a second up there. Wiedmann is 15 seconds back, so Martin gritting the teeth now.
And Steven of a man on 8th place. Fritz Biesterbos 9th. And Walter 10th place. Another Swiss rider.
Luc Wiedmann Has had a crash, but has recovered the third place. Bjorn Riley, held up by that, is still in fourth place. Bjorn Riley now 26 seconds back off the lead.
Nine seconds and 15.
He's building here, Bart. It's death by 1,000 cuts from Riley Amos.
Fast everywhere here on this course.
He's got some lines around here, you know. Off that big drop, cleanly.
Yeah, but he has to keep on pushing hard constantly to keep the gap there. Gives him a lot of energy too.
It's such a strange place to ride, isn't it? If you get everything cleanly, it almost feels smooth and fast, and you get hung up on one route, and it just stops your momentum. And
it is. If you get exhausted, it's going to be so hard here on this course to ride smooth.
Riley Amos then leads the way at the third round of the UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup for the under-23 men in 2024. He's won the opening 2 rounds. He's won the opening 2 short track races. And he won the short track race yesterday here in Nové Město, Moravě, as he heads into the tech zone. Now ahead of Luca Martin. There's Luke Widman, has been down in that tight right-hander in the woods. On the number 5 Thomas Maxson machine. That same big new service course this off-season, with a Thomas dealership attached to it, quite near Ralph Naif's home. Just getting bigger and bigger. And they need a big performance from one of their biggest talents, Luke Widman, today. There he is.
Yeah, Bjorn Riley, 4th place. Alex Malakane.
And this pace of Riley Amos, Bart, is starting to look like it's hurting.
Yeah, it's more than an attack what he's doing. He's pushing hard.
There he is. Your race leader.
If he's able to make it to a good end.
Your overall points leader.
And also look at his cadence. You need to have a higher cadence on sections like this. Working hard with your upper body as well. To move smooth over these routes. And find your momentum all the time, everywhere.
Solvoy, the winner of this race last season, currently.
But look at Martin, he's coming back.
Martin's coming back to him, 4 seconds. Doesn't know when he's beaten the Frenchman. Never say die.
And it was only because of that mistake what Luca Martin made on that rocky climb.
But that'll be in his head, Bart. He'll know that any mistake today and Riley Amos will disappear up the road.
Yeah. And when it comes down to the last few laps in the race, Riley Amos wouldn't wait anymore. Probably now they will do if they come close, if they come back together again. And it gives the other riders the opportunity as well to close the gap, because the gaps are very small still at the moment.
Amos cleanly through that stump section as we head into
another crash
section.
Here. But we see the number 15 riding for Specialized. And it shows how slippery it still is on many of the sections on this course.
Yep, that was Ivan Aguilar Villegas, Mexican.
And that's the difference in between the numbers 1 and 2 in the race. Not that much.
Not that much. Luca Martin, though, looking like he's having to burn a few matches to get back on the back wheel of the leader, Riley Amos.
3 seconds only.
I wonder, Bart, as well, if Amos will just roll off slightly, let him come back to him, and then hit him again with another attack.
The number 2 in the race.
You can get a really good idea of the speed Riley Amos is travelling at from that shot. Looks over his shoulder. Yeah, Amos looks well in control of this.
He's still there.
He's still there, but Amos doesn't look too concerned. As he heads up over the Aldridge Bridge. Martin visibly revving a bit higher. That is his style, though.
Yeah, well, Amos taking a gel like Luca Martin does as well. They need to have that for the last bit of the race.
Amos checks over the shoulder. Luca Martin just taking
3 more laps to go.
Bit of food on, gets a drink. And they know this is benefiting both of them in that no one seems to be able to live with this pace. Luke Wiedmann, 25 seconds back now. There he is with Bjorn Riley. So this is the battle for third place. Both of them have been down already.
The numbers 3 and 4, and then Alex Malakarne not that far off on the 5th place.
Malakarne by no means out of this battle for third today.
It shows also how important a good start is in a race like this. Small gaps in between the riders. It's going fast from the beginning. They don't slow down.
Dario Lillo in 6th. And here's your race leader, Riley Amos, undefeated so far in 2024. Is he closing in on win number 6?
Lennart Kreier, the Trendsteunse Romani behind him. Fritz Biesterbosch in the orange jersey.
That's the battle for 7th. 4 riders locked into it.
And then we have Walter from Switzerland on the 10th place.
Top 10 currently covered by 1 minute and 3 seconds, so it's still tight out there.
And that's the difference in between the 2 riders.
Top 20 are covered by 2 minutes, so roughly 10 riders a minute.
Yeah, Luca Martin not able to close that gap of 3 seconds what it was at the finish line.
These 3 duking it out for third place. You wonder if they can get organised and work together. Bjorn Riley at the head of this little train for the time being. The Trek future racing rider looked like he'd a difficult couple of laps rhythm-wise. If he can settle in now, well capable of riding himself back in touch with the leaders. Luca Martin, he's all action on the bike, isn't he? Really, really revs quite high, pedals hard, pedals a very fast cadence. Throws everything at it. 28 seconds then, back to Bjorn Riley and Wiedmann and Malakarne.
And again here, a mistake for both.
Little mistake for both.
Yeah, it shows how slippery the routes become.
Here we go. Oh, and almost at exactly the same part of the track. They are pushing it.
They are even more slippery than in the beginning of the race.
I think they're getting a lot of dirt pulled up onto them. I think it is getting more slick up there.
Let's see these 3, how they manage this.
Riley's off.
Yeah, Luc Wiedmann also off. Alex Malakarne.
Malakarne, the only one off the top 5 to clear that section.
He managed it precisely.
And Bart, it's horrible, isn't it? Because that sticks in your head then for the next lap.
Yeah, that's what's in it. Yeah. But sometimes it's even better to run it immediately. So get off your bike, run it instead of trying to make it. And then when it gets wrong. Another crash. Luca Martin.
Off the bike, so I wonder what's happened to Luca Martin there. What's got him off his bike?
And that's a very fast part where he has been straight or out of...
Whoa, big impact.
Hit that tree.
Yeah, maybe front wheel just bobbled on him.
Yeah, only his handlebar, I think he hit, but also looks like a little bit with his head.
Whoa,
it's one of the fast corners on this course. After that rocky descent, after that, it's bumps everywhere on high speed.
So let's see what the gap is now then. So
yeah, much bigger for sure.
Amos's constant pace is forcing the people around him into mistakes now. Where's Luca Martin? There he is.
Not that far off, I would say, after his crash, but he had
15 seconds, the difference. That shot, slightly misleading.
Yeah, especially here on this climb.
Yeah.
Second place for Luca. I see how slippery it is over there as well. Out of the course, almost for him.
And I wonder now, Bart, if he's just going to have a bit of a word of himself and slot back into that mindset, get his rhythm back, because he's falling into the clutches.
16 seconds.
Of the riders behind him.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird crash. I think it was because maybe it's, exhausted after he managed to rock out him precisely, and then afterwards it's a little bit very fast section, a lot of bumps.
It wasn't unlike Charlie Aldridge's crash in Arasham. You just soft hands on the handlebars, maybe not just quite tuned in, and a root just catches that front wheel and whips the bars out from underneath your hands.
It's sometimes like that. If you're not concentrated anymore.
I've had that crash a few times. I know what that one feels like. 16 seconds back then, Martin.
Yes.
And this is the invitation that Riley Amos will have been waiting for.
It becomes more difficult now for Luca Martin to close that gap again, I think. Drop a seat post down means to settle down. Have a little bit of more space in between the bike and the rider. Here's Luca Martin.
Luca Martin having to dig even deeper now.
20 seconds in between him and that chasing group with Bjorn Riley, Alex Malakarne and Luke Wittmann. It's still a second place for Luca Martin.
16 seconds. So Martin has managed to steady the ship and stay ahead of this chasing group. But Riley Amos is starting to put the hurt on the whole field now. 16 seconds.
Yeah, he's looking strong. There is Luca Martin. The green jersey. The factory team.
But what a generation of young cross-country racers we're enjoying at the minute, though.
I think at the moment, the under-23 man category, it's a very high level. Very competitive.
And great to see so many of them on the big teams now as well, on the full factory teams.
Yeah, all these big stars are part of the factory team.
You've got to be quick these days to get them.
Yeah, it is. They're all such talented riders. Now Riley Amos, his last year as an under-23 rider, so he likes to win the title, maybe the World Champs title as well, things like that.
And get himself a ticket to the Olympics as well.
I don't know, it's possible for the US. Christopher Blevins, I guess. Yeah, I would say Riley Amos too, yeah. These two.
Why not?
Why not, yeah.
Amos, Martin, Riley, Malakarne and Wittmann, your top five, separated by 42 seconds, but...
And also Bjorn Riley, actually, he's not that far off if it comes down to qualification Olympics. 14, yeah.
Martin's fine 2 seconds, you know.
Not giving up.
I don't think that's in Luca Martin's vocabulary to give up. He just keeps going.
Keeps on going.
Yeah, Riley Amos, great through the descents, as we know, so we may see him just refine some of that gap.
And it feels like this part of the course suits Luca Martin quite okay. He came back in the previous lap. Let's see if he can gain a few more seconds off. But Riley Amos is looking strong and he's not looking back.
You even saw it, Bart, last night in the celebrations when Riley Amos won that short track. It's not a surprise to him anymore. He knows that he deserves to win these races.
Yeah, he has the strength. He knows his skills as well when it comes down to the last few laps. If he pushed the hammer down, there's almost no one else who can follow him. And he takes these tactics.
These two really are pushing on ahead of that group. 39 seconds back to third place, Bjorn Riley. from the lead of the race. So Riley Amos's pace, although Martin is starting to come back to him, there he is in the same shot now. The battle for third really is solidifying.
And Lennart Kreier, the German champion, now in 7th place.
Rens Tunison van Manen, 1 minute 19 seconds back in 9th. Bjorn Riley really good up this climb. Sits really central on the bike, plenty of grip.
Yeah, a very technical rider. He's light, good climber. But also you need to have the skills here to ride a climb like this. It's not only the power.
Weidman, all about the power. All about the horsepower.
The Swiss rider, Ludwig Mann. Alex Malacarne behind him.
Nice through there from Malacarne. Well, that is mechanical disaster.
Yeah, he blew off everything. The insert, that green airliner like you saw, together with this tire.
Jack Spranger has had better days. And you can just see how good Bjorn Riley, just as Riley Amos is, through that section, just finding little things to double up and carry speed.
Yeah, the race goes fast. Only 2 laps to go. I think Riley Amos, he is almost at the finish line.
13 seconds. The gap. But it looks like Bjorn Riley just beginning to find a groove now.
Yeah, he's fast on this section. Little gaps in between the riders.
Bjorn Riley all of a sudden coming alive in this one. 2 to go though for his good friend and compatriot Riley Amos as he crosses the line at the lead of this bike race. 2 to go.
He's taking his time, Riley Amos, for his drinks and energy.
What is the split going to tell us? Back to this man then.
14 it was.
That's 12 now.
12 it is.
He's got plenty of racetrack left. Luca Martin, what a win this would be.
2 laps to go. 2 laps.
Here comes the battle for third place then. I wonder if Luke Widman will just fancy closing this down. Deploy some of that energy to bring Bjorn Riley. He does indeed.
Yeah, if you have a look at the lap times, I mean, it's very difficult as well for these riders to do it even faster. I mean, they reached the fastest lap time in the beginning of the race. And even at this point...
Fastest lap, yep. Luke Widman on the first lap. Then Martin, then Riley. Oh, trouble there as well.
Yep, must have been a little crash. He was straightening his handlebar.
Riley Amos just moving the hands in slightly towards the stem. That hunched over style.
And here we see that again. No. It shows how slippery the roots still are. And he has to straighten. So he's switching on his bike computer again.
Yeah, Thibaut Francois Baudry sent downtown to the boys in the lab. Meanwhile, out front, Riley Amos.
14 again.
14 again, yeah.
Luca Marte, who's second.
Turning the screw now, Riley Amos.
Similar to that chasing group where Luke Widman is doing the work. Here he is.
Luke Widman driving him on now. Alex Malacarne's right in amongst it now. Third wheel in this group. Dario Lillo trying to get back on the back of them. Make it a 4-ball.
He's on 6th place.
Bjorn Riley to the front now.
They're working well together, these 3.
They're working well together. I wonder if Malacarne's just letting the 2 in front do a bit more of the lifting.
Probably. But he has been working hard as well the whole race already. He didn't have his best start.
He's worked hard to get back over to them, hasn't he?
Luca Marte. Oh, and another crash here at the bottom of that BMX section.
Right on the chest, that.
In that berm.
Taking no prisoners, so a second has been found by Luca Martin in the chase of this man, the leader of the bike race, Riley Amos.
With number 10.
Yeah, 13 seconds, so it stays more like the same.
And you see off the bike immediately, Bjorn Riley. And let's see then the difference that makes. You see, you don't do that.
I think that's the right thing what he did. Bjorn Riley off the bike immediately.
Anytime you're at a standstill in a bike race, you're losing time on the riders around you. Bjorn Riley, clever riding there, just hopped off the bike, kept running.
And he can do it as well. He wasn't on the first position, so the rider behind him has to do similar or try to do riding it, but that's what Alex Malakana did, and it cost him a lot of time because he had to get off the bike anyway.
Yeah, it's cost him a couple of bike lengths in there, Malakane. There's Dario Lillo.
Also, he went down somewhere early on the race, some dirt on his right-hand side of his body.
Good showing from Lillo, though, this weekend in Nové Město na Moravě. Second in the short track yesterday behind this man. Still 13 seconds. There is the gap. That's the lead of the bike race right there. And here is the battle for third place, and Bjorn Riley starting to put some clean air between himself and Luke Wiedmann. Wiedmann closes it back up. Oh, Wiedmann goes down. Wiedmann down on a really innocuous looking bit of track. Can't get himself back on the bike, fumbles with the glasses. Let's see it again. Oh, just loses the front end, got off balance before it slid out.
There's slippery roots everywhere. A little bit of a momentum without concentration of him went him down.
So, dramas for Wiedmann. No such dramas for Bjorn Riley, who's looked the cleaner off this chasing pack for third place. So Bjorn Riley, currently the rider in the blue in front of you, is 39 seconds back off the lead of the race.
Yeah, and Dario Lillo, the red jersey, white helmet, struggling as well on that climb, but coming closer to Luke Wiedmann. Bjorn Riley on third place. Here he is.
He's been the cleanest part out of the chasing pack behind him. Made the least mistakes so far. Can he turn it into another podium here today in the Czech Republic?
That's what you said, qualifications for the USA. Of course, Christopher Blevins, I would say, but Bjorn Riley, actually, he comes close to Riley Amos.
If there's some big gap jumps, you want to take that guy.
Yeah, definitely. The Olympic course has a river gap there, even.
Get him on the squad.
Training days after this weekend for 2 days at the Olympic course for these riders. Some of them go, but some of them have been there already for the test event. Last year it was. Some of the riders coming back.
Pauline Ferrand-Prévot told us she'd be going to that, to have another look at it. Her big focus is a kind of turn into a career-defining moment for her.
I was surprised about the results of today's race in short track that she didn't win. But of course, Alessandra Keller, she was very strong.
She looked ominous to me, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. Keller collapsed in a heap on the floor at the finish line. Pauline stood beside her, not even breathing that heavily. And you go, plenty more in the tank for tomorrow. What a showdown we are waiting for here in Nové Město na Moravě. Puck Peters is back, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot's back. Meanwhile, out front of this one, Riley Amos.
A real test tomorrow in cross-country racing.
Oh, it's going to be a big one, isn't it? Race day in Nové Město na Moravě, cross-country Olympic. Where else would you be? Riley Amos leads the way by 13 seconds from Luca Martin. Bjorn Riley, 41 seconds. The rider on your screen at the minute, back off the lead of the race. So,
yeah, 9 seconds in front of Alex Malakana with Luke Wiedmann.
It's starting to pay off for Riley now. This clean riding is starting to put him ahead of that chasing parent of Malacarney and Wiedmann.
Yeah, that second tech zone, only technical support it's allowed. And there's another tech feed zone where also feeding is allowed.
Really good crowd here for the under-23 races. This place will be packed. They've got that brand new grandstand open, standing room only. Otherwise, always a big crowd on Sunday in Nové Město na Moravě, one of the crowds of the season.
Alex Malacarney with Luc Wiedmann. Luc Wiedmann out of the saddle. A bigger gear for him.
These two very evenly matched. Still Amos leads. He's by another second, though. 15 seconds ahead of Luca Martin now.
Dario Lillo, he's fifth.
Oh, Riley Amos. Little mistake, Bart. First one we've seen from him.
Yeah, there's not that much time to play with for him.
And that's the thing round here. One of those can just disrupt your rhythm. That said, he looks like he's got the ship righted all right.
But he still looks good. Look at this cadence here on this climb with all these roots. Slippery sections. And there is Luca Martin behind him in the green. He's not that far off.
And he can see him.
But to close that gap, he's been working already such a long time, so hard for that.
I wonder if he'll have seen that mistake, though, from Amos and just sensed a bit of blood in the water. So choppy, that section, but any time it goes downhill, Riley Amos just scampers off. So good at descending. There's Bjorn Riley. 43 seconds back now, but clear off that chasing group, so looking like another podium appearance in 2024 if he can maintain that, and that's a big F here in Nové Město na Moravě. But look, yeah,
still one more lap to go if they cross the line, if they're entering the arena.
But Riley Amos has gone from being in shot to disappearing out of it on that descent. He's absolutely superb down here, you know.
Yeah, maybe also a small mistake of Luca Martin, what we haven't seen, but I would say these riders are almost equal in strength.
I really think it is a descent.
12 seconds only.
Yeah, it's a descent so that Riley Amos seems to just be able to tick off one after another. It keeps the pressure on this man.
He definitely does. I mean, it's not over till it's over. One more lap to go. And riders are getting more exhausted, making more mistakes.
Riley Amos out on the start, finish straight then, and he's going to see one of his favourite sights any second.
But what a performance for him so far this season.
Final lap, where is Luca Martin in this shot? There he is.
That's 12 seconds.
Martin takes a big long drink.
And a big gear as well, riding here, pushing here on the finish straight.
Can he get back to him, Bart? I'm going to ask you to gaze in your crystal ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's still possible. 15 it is. But of course, Riley Amos has a little bit of time to play with. And for Luca Martin, 15 seconds faster than Riley Amos. That's difficult to do. A mistake of him.
Bjorn Riley ducks down over the bars.
Good place for him.
But this is Nové Město na Moravě, and it always produces drama. You cannot let your guard down for 1 second in this corner of the Czech Republic, or the roots will bite.
They do. They bite.
Pretty hard as well. Malacarney's in 5th then, so 55 seconds covering the top 5. There's Dario Lillo not giving up on a top 5 position. What a result that would be for him.
In 6th place, Dario Lillo.
Be great to see as well. There's your leader though, Riley Amos on the number 1 bike.
Looks good for him.
Looks good, but there's Luca Martin. 15 seconds the gap.
Just a few more climbs to do.
This one bar is poised perfectly, and you just get the feeling whoever makes the next mistake is going to be in trouble.
It is a little bit of time, I would say, for Riley Amos to play with. So he can make it a bit more carefully on some of the sections, especially on that rocky climb, which is coming up after this climb. The last bit of this climb, that's the rocky part. The steep uphill with the slippery rocks.
Riley Amos versus Luca Martin on the last lap here in the Vysočina Arena. Nové Město na Moravě serving up the thriller yet again.
But the track factory racing, at least the track bikes are very successful.
Yeah,
this weekend so far in all the races.
16 seconds. Riley's final second. Luca Martin, though. Look at the effort part.
Yeah. The way how he's pushing and kept on pushing.
Here we go.
Now here with the roots and the rocks.
If Amos makes it through cleanly here, it's his lap to lose.
He does it.
Does so.
Yes.
What can Luca Martin conjure up through the rocks? Is he going to jump off early, or is he going to take him on?
Straight through it.
Straight through, pushing a higher cadence, so can he keep the bike moving? Oh no! Luca Martin dabs. Is that the race gone? As we are glued to the next split time here, we see Bart just gets himself in a bit of a mess.
Yeah, he lost. And of course, that's the difference. Riley Amos, he has a little bit of time to play with, so he can slow down a little bit before that last rocky climb. And for Luca Martin, he has to push hard till the bottom of that, and then there's nothing left for him to make it.
It looked like Riley Amos as well just pushed a slightly harder gear, which kept him travelling through it cleaner than going for the maximum cadence approach.
Yeah, maximum cadence definitely on these slippery rocks, that's not ideal.
Here we go then. 16 seconds of difference. Martin on the hunt of Riley Amos, but he needs to do it. 17 seconds now. This needs to be going the other way if the Frenchman wants to be the first one to beat this man in 2024.
Yeah, a few little mistakes of Luca Martin. That crash definitely cost him a lot of time, but also a few times on that slippery rock section.
Onto one of cross country's most brutal climbs for the last time then goes Riley Amos. Where is Martin? I'm seeing 18 seconds now.
There he is. That's the difference in between these two.
Amos really, really strong up there, you know, Bart.
Try to find a better line here on the sides.
That's about as cleanly as anyone has gone up there all afternoon. Riley Amos, top drawer stuff. 18 seconds back to Martin now. There's Bjorn Riley in the background trying to hold hard left. Amos, whoa.
Pushing hard. You see his expression on his face too.
You can see that he knew that one was important.
Nice and smooth. Come on, Riley.
But also Luca Martin. If you look at his face all the time.
Martin, there's a telltale sign. Bart looks over the shoulder.
Yeah, Bjorn Riley's not that far off, but I mean, almost 30 seconds.
Widman now 1 minute, 1 second behind. Malacarney still with him. Battle for fourth is still on, but top three looking like they're locked in. But what order are they going to finish in? Lilo in sixth, 12 seconds back.
A little bit of time to recover again before the last the last climb of the course. Oh, no, not the last, the penultimate last.
Luca Martin gritting the teeth, as he has been pretty much since lap one.
Yeah, small gaps in between the riders, but all these riders pushing so hard constantly. Not waiting for each other.
Just over a minute covering the top five now. 15 seconds. between the leader of the race and Martin. You have to be careful of the curse of the commentator, Bart, but how impressive has Riley Amos been today for you?
I mean, also with that short track from yesterday, that win, that was very impressive. And also today, he used every single moment of mistakes what all the other riders made to attack. But also, yeah, I mean, it's still a long race. And also from the first lap already, he had a small gap, but he kept on pushing. Riders came back to him, but Luca Martin was with him for a while. And also Bjorn Riley was in the leading group as well for a while. But the pace he's pushing constantly, it's so high. So he dropped all these riders.
Riley, yeah, really held up by that crash of Widman in front of him early in the race. May well have been more towards the front, 43 seconds back now though. And it's been largely thanks to the pace of this man.
Yeah, and I think the course is much more difficult as we think it is with all these slippery routes. Little mistakes are easily made.
17 seconds now, so it has gone out. 2 seconds, Amos and Martin. And it's on these sections, the descents, where Riley Amos, we saw it right from the first lap. So strong. Danced his way away from the chasing pack. The American.
The last climb now for him. Luca Martin.
Oh. Steady, Luca, steady. Back end of the bike, stepping out on those routes when he set her down.
Everything in control.
Still pushing hard, you know, Martin.
Yeah, he does constantly. 17 seconds now. The pressure's still there.
Especially with climbs like this. It's that little bit, Bart, where it turns right up here, where it's just so thankless, so hard to get up.
Yeah, it's impressive how these riders manage to do it all the time again, every lap again. Of course, they need have a little bit of space as well in front of them to find the right line.
Track looking absolutely perfect for elite racing tomorrow. We get the big guns on track, but what an evening of under-23 racing we've had this evening. Bjorn Riley still working hard in third place. Let's jump back on board with the leader then.
38 seconds now for Bjorn Riley. A look back over his shoulder from Luca Martin. And this descent brings Riley Amos back to the arena.
He's just so good, Bart, at keeping the bike moving forward at all times. Never really loses any momentum. Grabs a pedal stroke here and there.
That small bridge, also famous here in Nové Město na Moravě. A very small bridge.
Here's the battle for fourth then. Luke Widman and Alex Malacarne. Widman looking like he's got a bit of space between himself and Malacarne, but we know the Brazilian's very, very strong at the end of races.
The number 4 and 5.
Just 3 seconds between them. There's your race leader though.
Not that far anymore for him.
Nope, 16 seconds. The difference back to second place. So Riley Amos turns right. Throws the whips out.
Yeah, short track win yesterday. And now again.
Manuals the bridge onto the front wheel. The class of the field in 2024. Pops the cheeks. Licks the lips. Unstoppable. Unbeatable. Undefeated. Riley Amos. 6 on the bounce in 2024. It doesn't get better than Amos in the UCI World Cup this year. The rain starts falling in Nové Město na Moravě. What a race from this man. Luca Martin threw it all out there. Comes away with second place. Should be more than proud of his efforts. Behind him, Bjorn Riley. Another podium in 2024. Superb ride from the American. A lot of respect between those two men. Weidman looks over the shoulder. He's done enough for fourth place today. Fifth place is going to go to the ever combative Alex Malacarne. Well, apologies to your hurling language down there. When there's under 23 men's race, we do get a bit of it. Dario Lilo heading home in sixth place. I don't know about you, Bart. That has set me up a treat for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this now.
Oh yeah, it will be again. Great races tomorrow.
But that man there, how highly do you rate him at the minute?
Yeah, he's in a great shape. If he has to ride together with the elite man, if it comes down to the Olympics, he might be in for a surprise.
That thing as well, why not take him? Because he's a surprise package. The elites haven't raced against him. They don't know what to do with him.
They don't know what, yeah, in some of the races like C1 or horse category races, sometimes they ride together. Here is Lennart Kreier, the German champion.
Kreier,
not
great
his
ride.
best start, but a great finish.
Looks like he enjoyed that one as well, Kreier. Behind him,
it's Biesterbos.
Biesterbos.
What a performance for him.
Sprint finish behind him. Who's it going to be? Finn Troidler just pips Carson Beard.
Another strong US rider. 3 in the top 10. Carson Beard.
Here we go then. This is how it's shaped up. Amos and Martin broke free early doors. Traded blows throughout. Riley Amos just kept applying the pressure. The final lap, the gap of about 15 seconds was enough to do it. 6 in a row for Riley Amos. Trek Factory Racing Pirelli, undefeated in 2024. He had to fight for that one today.
Riley Amos, a dominant start to the season, not only in South America, here again at round 3. Tell us about that race today.
Oh, so difficult. I mean, I think I've said that every time, but today we've had some rain this morning, like the last couple of days, yesterday especially, and it was kind of between muddy and dry today, and I think that's the most challenging conditions. So slippery out there. So many of the routes had come through more since the beginning of the week, and I think I was riding some sections really good, and then I'd make some time, and then the next section I'd make a lot of mistakes and give it right back to Luca. So super hard battle to the end. I think we're both just trying to figure out what the limit was, because you'd push a little too much and make mistakes. So we were just giving it back and forth until he made enough of a mistake I could get away, and just tried to stay on it and stay clean to the finish, and it worked. So yeah.
Was that a moment you saw to capitalize and try and stretch that lead when he did slightly fumble in that rock garden?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we make lots of small mistakes, like I said, out there, but that was definitely like a bigger one, and so you try and capitalize on it. We were both, I think, the whole front group was just like waiting to see who was going to make a mistake first that gave up the time, and yeah, that was the one that I decided to go with, but yeah.
How does this feel to start the season with such a dominant performance?
Unreal. I don't think I could have dreamed to be riding this good at the beginning of the year, so just taking every minute as it comes, because you don't know if it'll come again the next one, so I'm thankful for the 6 we've had. So
it's been truly impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, Bart, not to blow our own trumpets, we did say it was going to be a case of who made the mistakes out the front there, and that man made the less.
And he described exactly how it felt for them, for the riders, and we saw a lot of them mistakes, but a lot we haven't seen. It's just little things, what riders just feel and how they manage it. And it was much more difficult probably as it looks like on TV. With 6 wins for Riley Amos.
Super, super impressive. Riley Amos. He couldn't have dreamed of starting this season the way he has, but it's going to take some stopping him. If anyone can. Never looked hurried or in trouble either.
No, he kept on pushing hard from the beginning. And that's also why the other riders made these mistakes, even a bit more than he did, probably. It felt for him that he made a lot of mistakes, but the other guys did even more, probably. And they had to fight back as well all the time, constantly, to close the gaps again. And at the end, you have to pay for these gaps and these mistakes.
Bjorn Riley, a patient race and a great result in the end. Talk us through those early laps.
Just a lot of focus. It's like I was telling this guy over here, I thought it was going to get drier because it was ridden in more. But I think actually the dirt going on the rocks and everything made it a complete slip and slide, even though it looked pretty loamy and tacky. So those first few laps, it was really just trying to find your flow, find your lines. And I think for me, that was a little bit of chokehold. I was like I was struggling with my lines. And then the last 3 laps on the long wall, I found just a beautiful line. And it was just like a work of art up it. So after that, it was a lot better. But those first 3 laps, it was just like a struggle fest trying to stay with the front guys. I think trying to be first was really beneficial, but I just didn't have the legs for it. So once I had a little bit more space, I think I could do my thing. But yeah, I was just stoked to be top 3. I didn't know how I was feeling going into this race. Felt just like a little iffy. So it'd either go really bad or really good. Oh, sorry. And for the most part here, I've had bad results. So it was nice to have some redemption after, especially last year. Yeah.
Well, that's a fantastic performance. 3rd place today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Peace.
Struggling to find his best lines. I think if Bjorn Riley says it, it must be a difficult race for many of the riders.
We did spot him going to the left-hand side of that climb, though, so really, really creative riding from Bjorn Riley.
Yeah, what we already discussed as well. Lines changing all the time in a race as well.
Here are the results then. Amos from Martin, from Riley, then Wiedmann, Malacarne, Lilo, Cryer, Feasterboss, Trudler and Beard. Your top 10 covered by 2 minutes 18. 17 seconds in the end, the difference between Martin and Amos. Then it was Walter, Solvoy, Pedersen, Tunissen, Van Manen, Hudima in 19th, top 20 finish. Ethan Rose in 20th, rounding things out, the Kiwi rider in the top 20. Yannis Musi, we saw him right at the front of the race on the start loop. Luca Martin unable to get to our interview position, sadly. An absolutely empty shell of a bike rider. He's gone deep today, Bart.
Yeah, he has been fighting constantly with a little bit of a gap in front of him to Riley Amos. But what a race, what a performance he delivered at the end. 2nd place, and we saw how happy he was when he crossed the finish line. And it's a matter of time, I think, for Luca Martin to win a race.
It's going to come together. It is going to come together for him, but Riley Amos is going to have an off day first.
Yeah, or have we called it different?
Well, I mean we say that.
I mean, he was leading over there last year.
We say that. Kira Bohm, you'd have put your mortgage on her getting the job done here in Nové Město na Moravě, and she had a difficult round. And then all of a sudden, it's someone else's turn to win.
Yeah, and we know from Luca Martin, he almost won the race in Val di Sol last year around.
Here we go then. Riley Amos leads the way in the standings ahead of Bjorn Riley. Finn Trudler's up in 3rd. Luca Martin up in the 4th after that really, really strong performance. Then it's Wiedmann in 5th. Malacarne, Lilo, Roque, Moyer and Cryer. Your top 10. Two Americans, first and second now in the overall. Riders still crossing the line, such as the size off the field out there. Yeah, Bjorn Riley, Riley Amos, two very close friends, and now going head to head in the overall title race.
Yeah, the two American riders. Impressive to see how strong they are this season.
I remember talking to Lloyd Bruni about his rivalry of Amaury Piron, and he said, we just went on holiday for a year. Our friendship went on holiday for a year. But 10:15 tomorrow morning, cross-country Olympic elite women's race, and then 2 o'clock Central European time for the elite men's race. Yeah. What a belter that promises to be, given the strength of those under-23 races.
And tomorrow the world champions are here.
Yep, the big guns, the biggest of big guns have returned. That's great to see, even the motor riders getting congratulated. That's not an easy shift, Bart. Here we go. Under 23 men's podium's about to go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the awards.
Peter Sagan on the podium to help hand out some hardware. There he is, the man himself. One more green jerseys and iPad hot dinners. Bjorn Riley. Another podium. Another rider, Bart. The win is coming.
It is, yeah, also for him. Strong season, yes.
Luca Martin has recovered and can make it onto the podium.
Happy with his second place.
Yeah, he was very pale there for a while, I think. The Orbea factory team rider up on the podium. Went deep today, the only way he knows how. Riley Amos then for Trek Factory Racing Pirelli.
In his Pan Am champion jersey.
Takes to the top step for the 6th time at a UCI World Cup in 2024. And then fumbles the floor. Well, that was pretty much the only mistake he's made today, to be fair to him.
Very polite. Bjorn Riley.
Riley Amos gets the win. Two Americans and a Frenchman on the podium.
The new generation.
Yeah, and it's a deeply stacked generation as well. Riley Amos and Bjorn Riley celebrating together. Apologies if you heard any language there. But big relief on that podium after a really, really tough afternoon of racing.
Happy faces, happy riders.
Who is going to be up there this time tomorrow? Anyone's guess. In both races, it's too close to mention. Buck Peters is back. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot is back. Tom Pidcock's back.
Yep, don't forget Nino on a course like this.
He's done all right around here in the past.
Yeah.
And he looks strong in the short track as well.
Yeah. First row start.
Riley Amos, though. I mean, I'm not good at mathematics, but even I could probably have worked out that he's still got the overall points leader's jersey collected from Peter Sagan. And if you're going to talk to any human being on earth who can probably understand what that feels like, that man. Riley Amos then leads the way in the points by some margin now. He just gets better, Bart. Just gets better every time we see him.
Yep. Strong rider he is.
Well, that is it from a busy day of racing in the Czech Republic. Don't forget, we've got the big one tomorrow, the Elite Cross Country Olympic. Nové Město na Moravě, the 14th time of asking. And if the day was anything to go by, tomorrow is going to be worth watching. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you back here tomorrow.